Welcome back to Temporal Directive, the Star Trek fan podcast, rewatching the entire franchise in chronological order. I'm Gary.
And I'm Tom.
And this week, we're watching Star Trek Enterprise's Cogenitor. Star Trek, the ultimate franchise. These are the podcasts of the Wakefield brothers. Their 16-year mission to watch every production, to seek out life lessons and new inspirations, to boldly watch like most fans have watched before. Thomas, how are you? What's happening? How's life?
Good. At least I'm a little bit more healthy this week.
Yeah, you sound better.
Yeah.
You sounded like shit last week.
I'm not all clogged up and horrible sounding.
Yeah, you sounded pretty shit.
Yeah, no, feeling like life again instead of death.
Yay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I've had a quiet week. Just work and not much else.
Yeah. Tends to happen every now and then, doesn't it?
Yeah, we started sorting through our spare room because we have to move in a few months.
Oh, so yeah, fun.
We thought we might as well make a start, but
yeah.
Oh my God, we've hoarded a lot of
I was
shit.
going to say, what have you found, like the history of it? Oh, look, fuck, I forgot this.
We've been in that house for almost 9 years,
Yeah.
and we have just hoarded so much shit.
Yep, tends to happen. Like when I left the last place, like I was there for 20 years. Like the amount of shit that accumulates, it's just unreal, isn't it?
It's just ridiculous. So much shit that is just rubbish.
Yeah.
I've got a big pile. I don't like throwing things out.
Yeah,
So I've got a big pile of shit ready to give to the op shop because I'd rather it go to the op shop than trash.
Yeah.
Even though the op shop will probably look at it and go, that's trash, and throw it out.
Throws it in the skip anyway. At least it's them making the decision.
That's right. That's right.
I got to the point where I was just, I had the skip come about 3 times or something, so I just was throwing everything out, really.
Yeah.
I know that I had a dad and my best mate who was living with at the time, I'm pretty sure they threw things out that I didn't want them to throw out while I wasn't looking. I swear that would have happened.
Probably. Yeah, and haven't missed anything though, have you?
No, that's
there
right.
There you go. Then they did you a favour. All right, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? It is called Cogenitor, written by Rick Berman and Brandon Braga, directed by LeVar Burton, his third of 9 episodes of Enterprise, air date April 30th, 2003, and the IMDb synopsis reads, Enterprise encounters a hypergiant star. While there, they make first contact with the Vissians, a technologically sophisticated race with 3 genders. While making quick friends and eagerly learning about the advanced technology, Trip gets curious about the Vissians' third gender, known as the Cogenitor, who is crucial in the Vissian reproductive process. Against the wishes of the Vissians, Trip befriends the Cogenitor and encourages it to defy its cultural boundaries, which the Vissians are made aware of and are angered by. That was a long IMDb synopsis.
It was very long for IMDb.
All right. Third gender. This could be interesting and topical.
Yeah.
Considering my jobs.
Yeah, well, that's it.
So let's go watch it.
Rightio.
And we're back from watching Cogenitor. Tom, what did you think?
No, it's not too bad of an episode, actually. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's good because it actually, gets you a bit frustrated and you get a little pissed off. So anything that gets your emotions running is probably got to be good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it sort of has been done before or similarly. But other than that, not bad. Not bad.
Before we get into talking about the episode, when Trip is trying to choose a movie to show the Cogenitor, 2 of the options that appear on the screen are Dixon Hill and the Black Orchid.
Yeah.
And Bride of Chaotica.
Awesome.
Which Yeah, both of those are obviously holodeck programs that we've seen in later shows, but apparently they were movies.
Yeah.
That were later turned into holodeck adventures.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Like, you've got to have a backstory to them in some
guess.
way, I suppose.
I guess. Anyway, that was my little trivia moment.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, I thought the episode was pretty solid, actually. I thought Troop was an absolute dickhead in this episode.
Yeah, well,
but kind of on par, like on character, on point.
Yeah, like it didn't break the character at all.
I think at the end when Archer was like, "You're damn right, it's your fault." I was like, "Well, you're the one that didn't grant asylum when they requested it."
Yeah.
Like the Cogenitor wanted asylum from you and you said no. So is it really Troop's fault?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
like
it.
I guess kind of it is, but I think that was really like Archer deflecting his own guilt onto Troop, which is probably not the best thing to do as a captain.
No, that's right. And is your mate. Like,
yeah,
it was very harsh.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Especially since you could tell that really impacted on Trip. Like, he was really upset by it.
Absolutely.
And Archer could have done something about it.
Yeah.
He could have granted asylum and then
it wouldn't have happened. That's right. And understandably, it's a new species and you want to make friends and whatever else, but, it doesn't mean that your choices have to be that.
No. But yeah, Trip did kind of irritate me.
Oh, yeah.
They have their own culture, their own way of doing things, and while you might not agree with how things are run...
Yeah. And you've been there for...
It's not your place.
You've been there for 2 minutes. Like,
yep.
Like I can understand if you want to study that, and you want to try and understand it, and then, in the future, you want to, like, work with them to help them understand our way of doing things, and then help them get that kind of thing, but not in one go on one ship.
But also not without them asking.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's
you're
what I mean
forcing it on them. Archer was saying, did she ask?
Yeah.
Did she ask you to teach her to read? No.
In fact, she actually was like, "Yeah, this is wrong. I don't.
You shouldn't
like
be
this.
here.
This shouldn't happen."
Yep. Yeah, Trip was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
And then Archer was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the episode, shall we?
Okie dokie.
We open on the bridge. They are heading towards a massive star. They say they can't get any closer because of the radiation and stuff. And Reed says, we might not be able to, but someone else already has. Yeah. And there's a ship that is closer to the star than they can get, obviously. And so they hail it. And Archer has a chat with Captain Drennick. And they seem to be nice enough pretty quickly. And meeting new species is one of our primary goals. And Archer says, us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Funnily enough.
So join us for dinner. And Tucker says it'll be nice to have first contact when no one's thinking about charging weapons.
It was a very quick, like, friendly atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, getting along.
Yeah. It was. Then we skip the opening credits and we come back to the captain's mess, and Captain Drennick is having dinner with Archer. It's just the two of them. And they're talking about the shielding that allows their little ships and pods to go closer to the stars than what Enterprise can do. Drennick offers to take Archer with him
deeper into the sun,
into the hydrogen layer. And Archer says, I am an explorer. And then we cut to the mess hall, and Trip is eating ice cream sundaes with two Vissian women and talking about how you have to eat the cherry first.
Which is just so stupid.
I didn't know that was a rule.
No. And what if you're allergic to cherries? Then what do you do?
I guess you just don't get to eat a sundae.
Don't get any ice cream.
Don't get any ice cream. No, totally miss out.
Well, sorry. Can't eat the cherry. Can't eat the ice cream.
Sucks to be you. And then Malcolm comes over and introduces himself, probably because...
he's quite eager.
Yeah.
Because in, like, his very typical fashion, he's very like, women.
I'm here to bone.
That's it. He's like, you've got some alien women, I am here.
After Reed joins the three of them at the table,
Reed's like, I just met the engineer over there and he's interested in meeting you. And because Trip's not entirely led by his other brain. But anyway.
so yes, he goes over to the engineer who is sitting at a table with two other people. The engineer introduces Trip to his wife, and then they start to talk about something else, and Trip talks to the other person and introduces himself, welcome aboard, and they just sort of look shocked that they're even being spoken to. And the wife goes, "It has no name. It's our cogenitor. We're hoping to have a baby."
All excited. Yay!
And Trip just goes, "Ah."
That makes perfect sense.
Makes sense to me. And then the engineer says that the alien warp core emits Omicron radiation, so you should probably go to see your doctor and get an inoculation before you come on board. So Trip says, "Sure thing."
Yeah.
And then we cut to sickbay where he's getting an inoculation.
Funnily enough.
It's like they wrote it like that.
Yeah. It was perfect timing.
But then they end up talking about the three genders of the Vissians. Flock says not all species are limited to two sexes. In fact, I have it on good authority that the Rigelians have 4, or was it 5? Trip confirms, so this isn't, you're saying this isn't a man or a woman or whatever, it's a third sex. Flock says, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yep.
There's 3 sexes.
Yeah.
And you need all 3 to...
for a baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not rocket science here.
Nope. And he is into rocket science. So he should know better.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that hard to understand.
No.
Flux tells Trip to keep an open mind. You came on this mission to meet other species no matter how many genders they have. And then we cut to Archer and Drenick in the stratopod. They're talking about Shakespeare because Archer gave him some reading, some literature from Earth for him to read. And he read quite a bit of it already.
Yeah.
So he's read a whole heap of Shakespeare and was starting to read other stuff. So he was going to recommend some more. Then we cut to the Vissian engineering section with Trip and the engineer. And they're talking technobabble about the engine, and Trip starts to talk about the cogenitor, trying to ask some information. And Trip's asking, does every family have a cogenitor? That would be...
impractical.
That wouldn't be very efficient. They're only needed when a couple's trying to have a child.
Yeah.
And when they're not, well, there's only 3% of the... They're only 3% of the population, so it seems to be a pretty good ratio. They're probably always busy. So Trip just checks that that's the only one on the ship. Yes, that's right. It's the only one. What does it do when you're not at home? It eats and sleeps, and there's not much else for it to do.
That's it. What do
It's
you
like
expect?
a pet.
That's it.
That's what I would say about our dogs.
That's it.
What do they do when we're not at home?
Sleeps.
They eat, they sleep, they look out a window and bark. Not much else.
Nope.
But Trip seems upset by this because he starts saying, what about school? Why aren't they educated? And the guy doesn't really have that much of an answer. He just kind of goes, why are you so curious?
And there's no point.
Let's talk about the plasma. That's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. And they don't need to be educated.
No.
They've got one purpose in life.
Exactly.
To get me pregnant.
Exactly. Then we cut to the ready room. And T'Pol and Archer is there. Archer's putting together a pack to go on a mission. T'Pol asks how long he's going to go for. And he said close to 3 days. They're going to get pretty deep inside the star.
You're going to be alone with someone you just met for 3 days. Don't you think it's going to be a little awkward? Especially new species.
I'm a human.
Yeah.
I'm not a Vulcan.
That's right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. We're getting along pretty well. 3 days will be fine.
And then you're in charge.
That's of the, what? That's what you
The
make.
ship or the movies?
Yeah, that's it. The ship of the movies.
But yes. So he leaves. The end. We cut back to engineering, and Paul and Trip are there, and Paul is there to ask Trip for the movies to send over to the Vissians. And then Trip asks about if T'Pol has met the engineer or his wife or the Cogenitor or anything. She seems so not interested.
She doesn't give a shit at all. She does not care one little bit.
Yeah. And T'Pol asks why Trip is calling it a her.
Yeah.
And he says, well, she looks more like a her than a him. Well, I'll bite my tongue.
You are here to give your opinion, Gaz.
Well, it just makes him sound like a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
They've already used it as the appropriate way to address them.
Yep.
So don't put your fucking opinions over the top of that. Don't make judgments based on what your standard is.
That's right. Forcing your opinions onto it.
Ridiculous. And DePaul says it's not our place to judge.
Funny that.
Exactly. She says it's not uncommon to have trigender reproduction, and that the captain wants to have a productive relationship with this species, so maybe keep your opinions to yourself.
Wise words. Yeah.
In other words, that was Vulcan for shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's it. Pull your head in.
And then we cut to sickbay, and Flock says, that's good advice.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Because it was good advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep your fucking opinions to your fucking self. He says, mating habits are quite personal. Some species aren't comfortable discussing them. And he clarifies here that he's not interested in discussing how it works.
Yeah.
He's more concerned about the way that they treat the cogenitor. The fact that they don't get educated, the fact that they are kept in a room, they don't get a name, like they're just treated like a object or a pet or a whatever, less than a pet. Pets have names.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still not his place.
No.
It's not his culture. It's not his people. It's not anything to do with him.
Nope. But this is where they decide that they're going to do a scan. Trip's going to go back to the ship with a tricorder and do a scan.
Yeah.
Yep. They cut to the mess hall, and Reed is there with a Vissian woman, Velo. It says Velo on my paperwork, but I don't remember her ever saying her name.
No.
But so we'll go with Velo.
Sure.
And he's feeding her some cheese.
Yeah.
That's pungent, because apparently odor is more important than taste to these people, which is weird, but fine.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they should eliminate the need for taste because I prefer taste over smell.
That's right.
So I just think that they should conform to my way of doing things.
That's right. They need to have the tasty food and not the smelling food.
Sorry, just slipped into a bit of trip there. We cut to the stratopod, and Drennick and Archer are just talking about the fact that Archer's father was part of the warp drive development process, which he seems shocked about because they've had warp drive for 1,000 years. Yeah. So to think that they're so recent is pretty, I don't know.
Fascinating.
To him.
Yeah.
Not to me.
No. Or the audience at all.
Then we cut to the Vissian engineering section again. Trip's there with the engineer, and they're talking about the mix of protons and neutrons in the injection chamber. And the engineer invites Trip to their quarters for dinner that night.
After Trip encourages him subconsciously, essentially. It's like, I only have tiny quarters, not even the size of this room. What do you have? And he's like, well, why didn't you come around and see? Well, fucking.
And then we cut to that. It's dinner time, and the engineer and his wife and Troop are all sitting at a table sniffing their food.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Troop starts asking about the Cogenitor again. Will the Cogenitor join us? It rarely eats more than one meal a day.
Yeah.
And Troop says that he was hoping to say hello. And the wife is like, why would you want to do that?
Fuck is your problem, dude?
But the engineer says, like, Commander Tucker is very curious about our reproductive process. Humans are only bigendered. And she goes, oh, I'll see if it's awake, and goes to fetch it. And then we cut to sickbay, and Troop and Phlox are looking at the scans that he took while he was there at dinner.
Yeah.
Phlox basically confirms that they're basically identical. Apart from the gender, they're identical. They have the same intelligence capability and developmental functions and all the other. They're the same.
They're the same.
Just another gender.
Yeah.
No different to a male and female, and then a third gender.
Yeah.
All the same. Then we cut to the Stratopod.
Yeah.
And Archer asks for a turn at the helm. And there's some crap there, but he has a turn.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. It's not a very exciting thing in
It's
between.
not. I mean, it's fine to watch.
Yeah.
It's not fun to talk about.
No, it's not. It's quite boring, really.
Yeah.
He flies around and flies in between shit, and
Yep.
they get scans. Woo!
Fascinating.
Yeah. Yay. Nothing happens.
Nothing. Some niceties.
They get along.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. We cut back to the Vissian engineering section. Trip and the engineer are there again. Now they're talking about quantum inverters and how that could triple the animated flux. But Trip interrupts the discussion to say, I haven't eaten since this morning. I might go find the mess hall because I'm hungry. And the engineer's like, well, if you wait till we're done, like...
Yeah, give us another half hour, I'll be there.
I'll come too. He's like, no, I'll be right. I'll find the way. See you in a bit. And then he fucks off and he goes to see the Cogenitor, who's at the quarters alone. He has brought it a pad to try to get it to learn to read.
Yeah.
And it says, you shouldn't be here. Why are you doing this? It's not right for me to read.
Yeah.
And he's on his high horse. Who told you that? You're as capable as they are. You're as smart as they are. And it says, it's not true. They need me to have children.
Well, yes, that's right. They do. That's what they need you for.
And Trip says, it's not a question of what they need. You have the same rights to learn, to choose how you're going to live, to have a name.
No, she doesn't.
No.
No.
It even says, that may be true on your world, but not on mine.
That's exactly
You
right.
have the same rights? Fuck off.
No.
You don't have the same rights.
That's right.
And if you paid one fucking iota of attention, you would know that was not true.
That's exactly right. You are literally saying things that are completely wrong, and you are making them just... You're giving them completely the wrong information and giving them the wrong hopes, giving them the wrong everything. You're just doing the wrong thing right at this moment.
Yep.
It is bullshit.
It's so annoying.
Yes, they might be smart enough to learn. Yes, they might be all this kind of stuff. But no, they can't. They can't have an existence like the one you're saying they can have.
Exactly.
Because their society will not allow them to have this.
Exactly.
So you can teach them how to read. You can do all this kind of stuff all you want. But what's they going to achieve? Because they're going to go into a society that's not going to accept them.
I would absolutely 100% agree with Trip if the Cogenitor was saying, help me.
Yeah, exactly.
Gee, I wish I could learn to read.
Yeah.
Fucking teach them.
Yeah, that's
Do
right.
it.
Here. This is how you read.
But
Here's
the
your little
Cogenitor
pad.
seemed quite content with the way life was.
That's right. They were eating, sleeping, having lots of sex. They were happy.
Different couple every every cycle.
That's right. You know, no commitment.
And I get to just...
That's it.
I get to stay at home all day.
That's right.
Eat some food, sniff some food.
That's right. Sniff some food all day. Get some sex from different people all the time. I got no commitments. I don't have to go to work. Like, what kind of a life are you trying to give them?
Well, I guess it would be nice to read a book while you're at home.
Well, yeah, that's right. Like, that would be okay.
But they might have a bottle of string they can chase around the house.
Right, that might be enough. They might have some entertainment. They might have TV, you know.
Anyway, the scene ends with them picking up the pad and learning to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cogenitor has totally been sucked into Trip's rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
We cut back to the Stratopod for another twist between some solar flares.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the armory on the Enterprise with Reed showing off the weapons to Velo, who is just as horny as he is.
Yep, absolutely.
She's like, show me your emitters. So disgusting.
Well, at least he knows he can't get her pregnant.
Well, that's true. That's true. He takes her into the phase cannon assembly area, and then she pretty much jumps on top of him.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the Vissian living quarters with Trip and the Cogenitor. And the Cogenitor is reading from a Vissian book. They've picked up how to read pretty quickly. He's saying how amazing it is that they've accomplished so much in just a short amount of time. And that reading's just the tip of the iceberg. They could study all sorts of things. History, science, engineering. You don't have to sit in this room all day. They start talking about how they'd like to climb mountains or do whatever. And he says, you need to convince them of that. You need to make a stand.
Yeah. By yourself.
Yes. And then he says that I need to go. Like, I've got to get back. They think I'm at the astrometrics lab. But I'll try to come back as soon as I can. And then the Cogenitor tries to say that I'd like my name to be Trip, just like yours. Silly. Anyway, we cut to the Stratopod and some more flying. Archer takes the Stratopod through an enormous solar flare instead of around it because surfing.
Yeah. Stupid. Because it's the same thing. Like water and mass amount of heat and energy and stuff are the same thing.
Solar flares and water.
Yeah.
Same thing as a surfboard and a Stratopod.
Yeah, that's right. So, you can just dive into it. You won't burn up and die,
Don't worry about it.
No. It works.
They didn't worry. It worked.
Yeah, it worked.
I mean, he was right.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Then we cut back to Enterprise, and Trip is sneaking the Cogenitor on board for a tour.
God, he's a fucking idiot.
Yes, he is a fucking idiot. They check out the transporter, then they go to engineering. They talk about the engine for a bit.
They go to his room to
They
watch
go to
movies.
his quarters to watch movies, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he takes some time to try to figure out what movie to watch, including the options that we talked about earlier, Bride of Chaotica and Dixon Hill. But he considers a Western or a musical, but then decides on The Day the Earth Stood Still because science fiction is a good movie to break people into, apparently.
Sure, which just seems wrong to me.
Like maybe some sort of a drama?
Yeah, like a drama would make more sense. Like, especially like when
Casablanca?
Yeah, well, yeah, anything really other than a science fiction with aliens coming down and like...
Yeah, this is what we're going to do to you if you ever come to Earth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Come to Earth, we're going to attack you. Like, why would you show that one?
I just don't know. I just don't know. It sort of fades to a little bit later. Now they're playing some game while they're talking about the movie. Then the Cogenitor asks about maybe watching a different movie, maybe one of the Westerns that they mentioned. Trip says that it's getting late, we better get you back before they realise you're gone. Then we cut to the Situation Room at the back of the bridge, and Trip is getting in trouble from T'Pol, who says that he's no longer welcome aboard the Vissian ship. He confesses that he was with the Cogenitor, that he spent time in her quarters. He says her.
Yeah. I know,
And
I
then
keep
says,
slipping back
actually, they're not her quarters. They belong to the chief engineer. She gets a room to sleep in, and if she's real good, she can use their living space. He tells T'Pol that he's been teaching her to read, and she says, her education is not your concern. What else did you do? And he says that I snuck her on board Enterprise, showed her a movie. And T'Pol rips him a new one.
Yeah.
But he's adamant that he's done the right thing.
Which is certainly not the case.
No, it is not the case. And she says, like, the captain would be pissed off with you.
Yeah.
She doesn't say it like that.
No, but that's basically what she says, because
Yeah.
he's trying to actually make friends with this species, and it's actually going very, very well.
And you're fucking it all up.
You really, really are.
Yeah,
Like, you couldn't be doing more wrong right now.
exactly.
Like, first contact, and it's going fantastic. You're being a dick.
So then we cut to engineering, and Trip is at the warp engine doing some work, and the Cogenitor appears. The Cogenitor has snuck on board to say that they don't want to help me, they don't want me to climb mountains. And Trip says, don't worry, they will, give it time. And the Cogenitor says, they're angry with you. They'll leave as soon as our captain returns. They won't help me, but you can. I want to stay here, please. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good one, Trip.
Yeah. Just make the whole situation awkward.
There's a quick scene at the Stratopod as it's preaching back to Enterprise, and T'Pol over the comm just says, I think it's best you come back immediately.
Yeah. Awkward.
We cut to the ready room. Archer, Trip, and T'Pol are there, and Archer is grilling Trip about where the Cogenitor is. How long ago has this been How long has this been happening? They've demanded that the Cogenitor be returned immediately. And Trip says, I did exactly what you would do, Captain. It's not like I had much choice. I wasn't going to just... And then Archer interrupts and is like, will you excuse us, Sub-Commander?
Yeah. Just about as real, please.
Get ready, Trip, because Archer's going to unleash.
Just close the door behind you on your way out there, would you?
I don't think we need any witnesses for what's about to happen. T'Pol, could you step out?
Yeah. Computer, turn off the microphones.
And Archer gives him a fucking lecture.
Yeah.
I might have expected something like this from a first year recruit, but not you. You did exactly what I'd do. If that's true, then I've done a pretty lousy job setting an example around here.
Well,
That's probably true. And Trip says, I didn't think it'd hurt to teach her to read. And Archer says, then you didn't think hard enough. We're out here to meet new species, not tell them what to do. Trip says, teaching her to read is no different than you giving them books or movies. Archer says, giving them books is a lot different than suggesting they defy their culture. And they asked me for the books. Did she ask you to teach her how to read? No, sir.
no.
And sneaking into her quarters, bringing her on Enterprise, lying about where you were going. Why?
Because he knew it was wrong.
And then they go to Tucker's quarters where the Cogenitor is hiding out. Archer says that the Cogenitor has to go back to the ship until they make a decision and it's all resolved. Then we cut to the captain's mess, and Drennick and Archer are talking it over. And Drennick says, some men can work together for years without creating the friendship and bond that we did in only 2 days. I'm certain we can resolve this. And Archer says, I'm afraid it may not be that simple. On my world, when someone asks for asylum, it has to be given serious consideration. And Drennick says, we're not on your world.
That's it. We're not even close to it.
And I doubt whether this person truly understood what the engineer was suggesting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they are educated enough to understand what they're asking for.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't get the magnitude of it.
No, exactly. So anyway, they talk it over for a little bit. The engineer and the wife are there as well, and they're like, "You're forcing us to. What about us? We need to have a baby. What about our
unborn child?"
Yeah, but Archer ultimately says, "You can't expect me to just ignore someone when they ask for protection." And Drennick says, "We're in no rush to leave. Take your time. Consider what we've all said." So they've sort of talked it out. Then we're in the corridor, and we're in the corridor, and T'Pol and Archer walking towards Trip's quarters, and T'Pol says, "You shouldn't have misgivings. You've made the right choice." As they enter Trip's quarters, and then we cut to the bridge. Because they don't actually tell us what happened.
No.
They just sort of arrive.
Yeah.
And then, we cut to the bridge. The two ships have disengaged, and
They all live happily ever after.
yeah, I wish. Drennick and Archer have a polite conversation about Shakespeare and hoping they get in touch with each other again, and hoping that yesterday's unfortunate incident won't interfere with the future relations between the two species. Then they go their separate ways. Then we cut to Archer in his quarters, reading a book with his dog next to him. Hoshi comes over the comm and says that there is a call from the Vissian captain. He sounds upset. Then we cut to the read room a little bit later. Archer's in there looking out the window. The doorbell rings and Trip comes in and says, "You wanted to see me, Captain?" And Archer says, "I was just told that the Vissian Cogenitor died." What? How? Suicide, Trip. She killed herself. And Trip says, "That can't be. Why?" "It's my fault. I'm responsible." Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It is definitely partly your fault.
And Archer says, "You're damn right you are. And it's not just her. There's a child who won't be conceived because of this." Well,
okay, that's dramatic.
That's a bit of a stretch.
That's very, very dramatic.
Yeah.
So there isn't a child. There is not one there.
That's right. It's time you learn to weigh the possible repercussions of your actions. You've always been impulsive. Maybe this will teach you a lesson. What will teach you?
Yeah.
Just the sadness.
Yeah, sadness teaches you the lesson. And I mean, Archer's...
When he said that, I was expecting Archer to, like, I don't know, confine him to quarters or, like, I don't know, demote him or give him some sort of repercussions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway... Trip says, "I understand," and Archer says, "Do you?" I'm not so sure that you do. You knew you had no business interfering with these people, but you just couldn't let it alone. You thought you were doing the right thing. I might agree with you if this was Florida or Singapore, but it's not. We're in deep space and a person is dead, a person who'd still be alive if we hadn't made first contact. I guess I haven't been very successful at getting through to you. If I had, you would have thought a lot harder before doing what you did." Dismissed. That's Starfleet for get out.
Yeah.
Wrong series. That was Janeway. But Archer goes back to look out the window at the stars shooting past, and Trip goes, Captain, we're still friends, right?"
Yeah, that's it.
And then leaves.
"Captain, can you hear me?"
And that's the end. All right. Well. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this episode. I really quite liked a lot of it.
Yeah.
I liked the ideas behind it. Trip was such a dick.
Yes. He had blinders on completely. Like, there was no thought in what he was doing at all.
I don't know if that's the point that the series, like the episode, was trying to make.
Well, it had to have been, really.
Like, don't interfere? I guess.
And it was very blatantly that. It had to have been. Like, because he didn't listen to anyone around him either. Like, he was literally just focused on what he thought was the right thing to do. But he was so wrong.
Yeah. This episode really conflates sex and gender as well. Like those two things are really interchangeable in this episode, in this discussion, where like sex is a biological fact or function and gender is a social construct. So those two things don't need to align to each other. So like there's that whole binary way of thinking that this episode starts with that just irritates me to start with. But, you know, again, like I said, I work
Yeah.
with a lot of gender diverse people.
Yeah,
so
Well, I mean,
like I have a
obviously-
different, maybe I have a different take than
Well,
some people.
you would definitely have a different take than some people because it's clearly dealing with the sex of the species, not the gender of the species, as much as they use the word gender throughout the episode.
But then they use gendered language.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They use the gender language, but that's because it was also in the early 2000s. So
Yeah.
it was before we, as humans, started using the language more predominantly in the other way. Because
I guess.
in the early days of that, we were using gender more for the sex.
Yeah. It was
So-
interchangeable.
Yeah. Whereas now we don't do that as much.
No.
So, but the show's clearly talking about the sex of the species.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It also gave me Handmaid's Tale vibes. Like, I don't know if you watched Handmaid's Tale, but like,
I haven't watched much of it, but I didn't really get into
Or
it.
read the
But
book.
I know what it is, and it's very much exactly like that.
kinda. Yeah, definitely some Handmaid's Tale vibes.
Yeah,
But anyway, overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode.
yeah, it was pretty good. It was very good. Like, I mean, I don't think Archer's done anything that we've seen anyway to really direct his crew or Trip or anything in a way to not.
Well, I think he's more like lead by example.
Yeah,
And I think he said in that last scene how Trip's been aware of all the different moral discussions and like decisions they've had to make since he's been out there. So Trip should know better.
yeah.
And maybe he should, but I don't know.
Yeah, but they're all learning. They're all out there for the first time. I mean, he could have
Yeah.
been a little bit more. It's his mate.
Yeah. All right. So what's the life lesson then, Tom?
I think we kind of covered it, really.
We probably did.
Yeah. Don't interfere.
Don't interfere in other cultures.
Yeah.
Leave Brittany alone.
That's it, exactly. You might think you have good intentions, but unless you know what someone or people are going through,
Yeah.
you don't really, your way isn't always the best way.
That's right. IMDb ratings for this one, Tom. Our examples of 1 episode's of Voyager's Threshold and Next Gen's Code of Honor. Examples of 10 episodes in Next Gen's Tapestry and Deep Space Nine's Far Beyond the Stars. What are we going to rate Cogenitor?
Well, I like it because it does stir up stuff to have a conversation about, and it makes you frustrated. Like, I like one that gets an emotion ticking. So I'm going to put it up there pretty high at about a 7 or an 8.
A 7 or an 8, Tom?
Yeah.
Shit.
Because I think it's enough. There was enough going on, like you said, even about the Archer stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't talk about it much in this what we're talking about podcast because it's quite boring sort of shit. There's nothing overly exciting to put on, like, with people talking, but to watch it was quite all right. Like,
Yeah, it was really good rapport building.
Exactly.
They seemed really connected and friendly. And
Yeah, they got along well. Like, it wasn't boring to watch
No.
on the screen at all. They were quite good. So that mixed in didn't feel like it was intrusive to the other story, like some of the other episodes we've watched.
Yeah.
Where you're like, why did they even bother putting that in? Like, it just felt like the cave scenes in the
No.
last one. Like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck? Like, it was so stupid. Whereas this didn't feel like that.
No.
So I would give it a higher mark because of those sort of things. It was
Alright.
enjoyable to watch.
Cool. I'm happy to go with an 8.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
cool.
All right, that's it for this week. You can find us on Facebook at Temporal Directive Podcast and Instagram, just Temporal Directive, or you could email us at wakefield_productions@outlook.com. We would love to hear your thoughts on Cogenitor or anything Star Trek related, so please get in touch. We'll be back next week with the episode Regeneration. Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.